How many of you are curious about what tech school is like for the Air Force? I'm about to share my experience. Stick around, find out. So tech school, it's the portion of training after you finish up basic training where you go to learn about your specific career field. And for me, that was down at Keesler Air Force Base down in Mississippi. I was going initially in as a cyber transport technician, but I ended up failing out of that. Now, when you fail out of a tech school, there's a potential to reclass, and there's the potential to be separated out. I was fortunate, and I was allowed to reclass into another career field. And what I ended up reclassing to, the RF transmissions systems, and with that reclass, that allowed me to stay at Keesler, so I actually didn't have to leave and go to another base. When going through tech school, the amount of time that you spend at the tech school is varied depending on the career field you are going through. When you go to tech school, they will continue to run PT. They will do mock runs to test you periodically, so that way you have an idea of where you're standing on the Air Force PT test standards. And at the same time, Monday through Friday, you are going to class. And they, depending on the tech school, I believe it might vary a little bit at each one, they have varying shifts. They have the S shift, which is during the day, and they have the T shift, which is at night. Now, when at tech school, they have phases as well. At the first phase, you are required to wear a military uniform when you leave your dorm room. You are not authorized to leave base, and you are not allowed to drink, if my memory serves me right. Now, with me, I end up phasing up. Most people phase up. When you phase up, you're allowed to wear civilian gear when you leave the dorm room. You're allowed to go off base, and you're allowed to drink beer as long as you are old enough. You don't even think of attempting to drink underage while you're in the military, even if you are just in training. Expectations of what they want you to accomplish in each block. Each block is covering over a different topic. And with something like, say, for example, with RF transmissions or cyber transport systems, what they do is they have an initial electronics fundamentals course you'll go through. You finish the blocks for that, and then there is a secondary schoolhouse that you go through to get the rest of the training done. And while you're at tech school, you'll learn which base you are going to for your first active duty assignment. And for me, when I was going through cyber transport systems, I was there long enough to learn that I was going to be stationed in Florida for my first duty assignment, and then I reclassed. And when I reclassed, that lost my initial assignment, and I got reclassed over to RF Trans. And then while I was at tech school, I ended up learning my next assignment, which was Germany at Ramstein Air Base. I won't be covering that in this video, though. You'll have to wait for part 3 for that. But you find out where your next assignment's at, and you continue to go through the schoolhouse, taking a test at each block, at the end of each block. And as long as you pass that test, you move on to the next one. And at the end of the schoolhouse, you graduate, and that's when you get your occupational badge pinned on. You receive a certificate of training, and they'll start getting your orders and everything situated for you to out-process from tech school, so that way you can move on to your first assignment. And typically, last I remember, you can fail twice. The second failure is when they're looking to separate or reclass you to another career field. The first failure, they hold you back and you go back through the block again with another class. But overall, tech school is pretty interesting. You no longer sleep in a bay like you did in basic training. You move on to living in a dorm room with a roommate. They expect you to get up for formation in the morning. You march on to your classes for the day, and then you'll march back at the end of the day for another formation. And you'll perform PT either in the morning or in the afternoon, depending on the time of year. And also they do have MTLs there. They're not as strict as MTIs, but they are there to guide you and ensure that you are doing what you need to do to graduate from tech school. They're also there to issue out paperwork if you're getting in trouble. They also issue out uniform inspections, and they will perform room inspections on you while you're there. So don't think you can get to tech school and just leave your room a mess. The MTLs will check, and they will find out. And overall, it was a good experience. I did everything I needed to do with the exception of failing out of cyber transport systems and getting bumped over to RF transmissions career field. But I did successfully graduate from RF transmission systems, and I went into operational Air Force. So, with that being said, leave a comment down below if I missed anything that you want to know about. Feel free to subscribe. Also like and share the video. And hang around for part 3, because that's where I get to discuss living in another country. As always, enjoy life, take it a day at a time. And I'll see y'all next time.